Hello and welcome to the HIV Implementation Science Literature Review Dashboard, developed by the HIV Implementation Science Coordination Initiative, or ISCI for short. In this video, we'll walk through how to utilize and navigate this dashboard to help inform the delivery of HIV care programs and services. This tool is designed for two primary audiences: HIV care practitioners and researchers. The dashboard is based on several systematic reviews conducted by ISCI starting in 2022, and the data come from three underlying datasets of peer-reviewed publications on projects implementing HIV-related interventions in the United States. Each dataset is characterized by a single systematic review focus: implementation determinants, implementation strategies, or adjunctive interventions. Each review focuses on one of three HIV interventions: PrEP, HIV testing, or linkage to care. To learn more about these concepts and terms, please visit our ISCI website. When you first open the dashboard, you're greeted with an introductory pop-up. It displays some basic navigation tips that we'll go over in this video, so feel free to close the window for now. And if you ever want to return to this information, it is available by clicking the question mark icon in the top left corner. The dashboard consists of 4 pages. The first 2 pages display data from implementation determinants literature reviews. The third page displays data from implementation strategies reviews, and the fourth page displays data from adjunctive interventions reviews. A feature found on all pages is the information icon, which you can see an example of here in the corner of the bottom left table. These informational icons provide context on underlying data and provide reminders on how to best utilize a visual. Let's jump into page 1, Determinants. Throughout the dashboard, various figures display characteristics of the selected articles. For example, here we have the demographic breakdown of participants in all Determinants articles. And when you interact with the elements of a figure, the other figures will update to display data from the specified subset of articles. We've now selected to only view articles related to PrEP. The number of articles and individual determinants from those articles are displayed in the cards on the top left. The bottom left table displays all articles meeting the current specified criteria. Since we have the PrEP slice selected, the only articles displayed in the table are those relating to PrEP. You can use the scroll bars at the bottom and the right of the table to explore the full data. You can also select a single article in the table, or select multiple at a time by holding the Control key while clicking on articles of interest. In doing so will adjust the figures to only display the selected articles. If you select an element within another figure, the filters will reset and only show this new subset of articles. And if you wish to apply both filters, you can once again hold the Control key and click the desired groups. Now you can see that we have a subset of 120 articles with a total of 946 determinants pertaining specifically to PrEP and gay, bisexual, and other MSM. This is one method of filtering. However, to utilize a more comprehensive selection of filters, click Show Filter panel in the top left, and select the filters that meet your specific needs or criteria. Reset all the filters before using this panel to clear any previous selections you may have made. Now with the filters reset, we can choose multiple selections to create a tailored subset of determinants articles. So let's say I'm only interested in articles related to PrEP, among GBMSM or Black African American populations, and in community-based organizations or CBOs or non-clinical settings. Then hide the filters panel. We can see there are 6 articles that meet our criteria with 68 determinants identified. Now, this page only shows the breakdown of the articles themselves, but if we want to see the individual determinants within each article, we can recreate these filters on page 2. Page 2 shows the determinants by CFIR 2.0 domains and subdomains. You'll notice that the filters we applied on page 1 didn't carry over between pages, so let's reselect our desired filters. Let's start off by clearing any filters, then select our criteria. And you'll notice there are other filter options here related to CFIR 2.0, which was used to code each determinant. Now let's take a look at our results. And you can see we have the same results as before with 6 articles and 68 determinants. In the bottom left table, we now see a single determinant per row, as opposed to the individual article per row seen on the previous page. Most articles have more than one determinant identified, so you'll see the same article title referenced multiple times within this table. Now let's sort by the article title. That way we can group the determinants by each corresponding article. And in doing so, we can see that there are 6 determinants pulled from Paris's 2018 article, a multi-component approach to evaluating a PrEP implementation program in 5 agencies in New York. Also notice that by hovering over the value in the table, we're able to read the full title. The use of hovering over an item is incredibly useful throughout the dashboard to view full text values, summaries, and counts of quantitative values. Let's move on to the Implementation Strategies page. All implementation strategies are displayed on this one page, with the visuals at the top providing a brief overview of the strategies and the bubble chart in the bottom right visualizing the individual name strategies coded using the Expert Recommendations for Implementing Change, or ERIC framework. Once again, each of the figures here are interactive and will affect one another. Notice there are different filters options for this page. Here we can see there are multiple options for the settings, such as non-behavioral clinical sites, and within that group there are various subsettings. And you can select the entire group or individual subsettings. You can use the bubble chart on the right to view ERIC domains and subdomains, again by hovering over each element. So we can see there are 174 specific name strategies coded as the 5th ERIC domain, train and educate stakeholders. And if we hover over one of the smaller inner bubbles, we can see that within this domain there are 64 strategies coded as ERIC subdomain, conduct ongoing training. We can isolate those by clicking the desired bubble or domain. And as before, if you want a more comprehensive view, you can use the Filters panel. Now let's move on to the fourth and final page. The adjunctive interventions were coded using both COMB and Theoretical Domains framework, which are displayed in the figures. As with the other pages, you can filter demographics, but you'll need to go directly to the Filter panel to do so. Once again, the figures will interact with each other, so play around with it to fit your needs. If you encounter any technical issues with the filters, simply use the Reset All Filters button on the Filters panel. And that concludes our walkthrough. If you have any suggestions on how we can improve this tool, please feel free to reach out to us at our email iski@northwestern.edu. We hope to continue to add more features and data, so check the version history at the bottom of the webpage to see new elements as they are added. Thank you for using the HIV Implementation Science Literature Review Dashboard.